Yeah. Social media is making people smarter or dumber or what?
People have ease of access to information. So I think that they have access to the information, which I guess you could describe as smarter. But I think then if you describe smarter as sitting someone down and asking someone the same questions that they type into Google, then I'd say no, because I don't know about you. Can you remember the last question that you typed into Google? And the answer to it?
What I searched up why the Karamin rock pools closed, and it said because there's Aerococcus bacteria inside it, so they closed it.
Okay, fair. I can't. Fair. You win 1-0. But no, like for me, I definitely can't. I think, yeah. So if you're interested in it and you're like proper deep diving into something, then for sure. But for me, I Google so much random stuff as well. We like using ChatGPT. If we don't know something, we're like, just ask ChatGPT.
It is in a way that I think people are losing their like attention span, and they're not having as many like original thoughts or like having or something. But there's so much like access to information that anyone could be as smart as everyone, but it just depends what you do with it, really. Yeah. But I don't think that. I think that people are getting. Yeah, because they're just not, like, it's so quick. It's such a quick turnover that people aren't actually putting effort into learning what they're watching. They're just seeing it. It's like they're absorbing it, but they're not learning.
People would rather just, instead of actually, like, research something, they'd rather just Google it and then just, like, instead of, like, trying to work out a problem. But yeah.
It's just mindless, and it's just like a time waster, really.
Has social media helped you learn new things, or do you just use it for entertainment?
We learned a new card game, actually. We learned a new card game off of TikTok the other day, so I can't be completely slanderous towards it. But yeah, I mean, it definitely has its perks and its benefits. I guess it comes down to the person and the individual and how they decide to use the tools that they're given, like social media and stuff. But yeah, I think, it's definitely taught me something. I wouldn't go to it specifically to learn something, I don't think, initially at least.
I find it really entertaining to use social media, and I do go to it, like I go to TikTok to learn things all the time, like how do I make a cake or how do I learn a new card game like that. But it's very like surface knowledge. Yeah.
I think it depends on the topic that you're trying to learn as well. Like if you're trying to learn something like a new makeup technique or like a card game or a cake, but I wouldn't go to, if I was a brain surgeon, I wouldn't use Instagram to try and figure out how to solve something in the brains. I'd hope that there'd be more reliable sources out there.
The information that you see on social media, why or why not?
It depends on what the information is, and I think it's really interesting when you see people so strong-minded on one particular opinion or thought or concept, because I always think, like, have you done enough research into the other side of that topic or whatever? So I think if you're going to read something, then you can believe it if it's a trusted source. I say that, trusted source, but never just take it from one news source. Look at a couple, look at the counter argument and stuff like that. So yeah.
I think I trust it too much, but I know I shouldn't. I'm such a sucker. I do. I know I shouldn't though, but I do trust it way too much.
Do you find it harder to focus on long books or long articles after using social media?
Short answer, definitely yes. Yeah, I had a terrible attention span anyway, but now like reading is basically impossible. Like I do it if I need to go to sleep quickly, and then I finish about a quarter of a page, and then I'm soundo. But yeah, for sure, like social media for sure affects like your attention span, definitely. That's why TikTok does so well. Like 20-second videos.
Definitely shortens your attention span. To the point, I'm the same. Like if I'm like playing on my phone for too long and I look up like into the world, like it takes me a good like few minutes to actually be able to speak to people sometimes. Like I can't remember how to like have a conversation.
Yeah, I can
sometimes.
vouch for that.
Yeah. And
How do you decide what's true and what's not true on social media?
I help Sophie discover what's AI and what isn't AI. But no, I think it depends on the topic. Like some things catch me out. Like I think you've got to look at multiple sources and then just find the correlation between the stories. That sounds complicated, but basically you just look at like 2 or 3 different news channels or different sources, and then you just see what aligns and then what doesn't align, and then you can try and figure it out. But yeah, that's probably how I would go about finding out if something was true.
I think it just has made me a lot more skeptical. Like I don't trust the first thing I see. You've got to look at the other side of the story, and it's somewhere, like they say, like it's somewhere in the middle. It's never just the first thing that you see, really, because I get caught out with them all the time. I go, do you know this?
Yeah.
Dan goes, that's AI, or that's fake, or like, yeah, do your research.
You think social media has improved or weakened the way people communicate?
No. The short answer, just because I think if you look at how people interact on a day-to-day basis, everyone's like, I'm a bit of a, I'd probably say I say hello to a lot of people, like far too much, and I'm quite chatty, whereas like most people are socially awkward, and like it's because people are just so busy like talking like that. And it's ironic because they were supposed to help us learn how to communicate, but in terms of like verbal face-to-face communication, it's gone downhill for sure. But on the flip side of that, you can now contact someone on the other side of the world. So I live in the UK, Soph lives here in Oz. So without it, we'd be spending a month at a time to send some letters to each other. So it does have that, but yeah, I think in the short term, like in the shortfall, no.
Like I was saying, like sometimes if I'm just on it too much, it'll be hard for me to like snap back into talking to people face to face, and it does make it difficult. But yeah, there's also that flip side of, because you can say anything you want over the internet and there's not usually any like repercussions from it. And I think that makes it harder for people to talk face to face because they don't know what they can and can't say sometimes. But it helps people connect, but communicate, maybe it's different. Yeah.
Do you think younger generations are losing social skills because of their screen time on social media?
Yeah, for sure. So I come from a teaching background, so I taught both like primary and secondary, and for sure, like the kids don't want to go outside and like play anymore, or go run around. I don't know what it's like here. They want to like sit inside, like they'll play on like Warzone and stuff like that. And then the only time that they'll talk to their friends is on their phones or on mics whilst they're playing games, which means that they in turn hear a lot of stuff that they probably shouldn't hear. And yeah, like I'd say that kids, apart from yourself, obviously, a younger part of the generation, really struggle with communicating with each other, with people who are older. And yeah, with each other, really.
Yeah, I for sure do think that. I think it's just because it's new and there's a whole generation growing up with like specific, like they have iPads at school and we never used to have that. It's just we need to learn how to balance it now. Like we need to learn a whole new way of teaching kids how to be social because it's just new. So yeah, I do think that. Like I feel like you can notice it. Like kids at restaurants, they're just on their iPads. They don't know how to talk.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they're definitely losing it.
Thank you so much for your time.
No worries.
As always, like, share, comment, subscribe for more amazing content like this. Peace.